Hey, we are two Star Wars nerds, and today we are talking about Leia Organa in Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
It's going to be so much fun. We believe that she is like the strong woman that we need in Star Wars, and hopefully we can just make a case for why she is so awesome if you needed convincing of that. I mean, if you've ever seen Return of the Jedi, I don't think you need convincing. Right. We have a list of things that she does in this movie that are super cool, but why don't you just start us off?
Yeah, what's cool is Princess Leia is pretty amazing throughout the entire trilogy, but like you said, we're just going to focus on Return of the Jedi, and there's just so many moments in this movie alone of how she's an amazing strong woman, how she's a great example for young women. So I'm super excited to talk about her and all that she does, because even in the beginning of Return of the Jedi, we see her come in dressed up like a bounty hunter. She's the one who she's coming in to save Han. She threatens Jabba. Like, there's just I don't know how much in depth you want to go onto each thing, so you can.
I don't know.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about it all.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So before I just list them, let's talk about each moment. So let's talk about her coming in as a bounty hunter, because I remember as a kid when I first saw it, I'm like, who is this?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know it was Leia.
That very first time, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember that, almost 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I still remember that. So I was like, oh, a new cool character. Who is this? And then once, she takes the mask off and you're like, oh my gosh, it's Princess Leia. Like, she just stealthily came in here. She knew the code or whatever she needed to get Han out of the carbonite. Like, I mean, she just came in. Like we talked about before, she was probably part of Luke's overarching plan. But, like, she just came in on her own. Like,
and I can still hear the, like, yakto.
Yeah.
I can, like, hear her saying it.
Yes.
And she's
so convincing.
And that thermal detonator, too, and she's like, I want 50,000. I'm like, why should I pay you 50? And she's like, basically, I'm going to kill you straight up.
Right.
And even Jabba's like, whoa, I like you, Like, but I think even, it's interesting with them being captured, kind of part of the plan, too. I mean, he's a crime lord. And, he's running Tatooine.
Right.
And
more than Tatooine, probably.
Yeah, that's very true. He has the Hutt Empire, and for her to stand up to him like that, seemingly alone and hoping that the plan works out, it's pretty cool. And obviously he objectifies her quite a bit, puts her in the slave outfit, chains her up.
Before we move on to that too, I want to point out though how Luke made her a part of the plan, and he's like, you're a strong woman. I'm not afraid of you being strong, so I'm actually going to make you an integral part of this plan, because you have strengths, and you can accomplish and help me accomplish this plan. So that even is cool that he respects her as a strong woman and makes space for her.
Yeah, and what's cool is the way George even wrote it is it's not like, hey, we need a strong woman, and just like, here's a token woman. It's just like, Leia's just an awesome character.
Yeah.
And there's like no agenda behind it. It's just like, yeah, she's just legit.
Yes.
And, even then when it gets into the whole scene on Jabba's sail barge, with the slave Leia outfit and all of that, I just love how she's even like repulsed by him, and then how she just like wraps that chain around his neck, and it's like,
yeah, she's the one who kills this crime lord. Like, one-handed as she's tied up. Like, Princess Leia is the one who takes down Jabba the Hutt. Like, that's a huge deal. Yeah.
Then I remember even now, but as a kid watching that scene, I'm like, dang, that is brutal. Like, that is so cool.
I was always like, yes, like, so pumped.
And it's like, you're gonna put my lover in carbonite, you're gonna hang him as a wall decoration, you're gonna treat me like this, like, all right, like, I'm gonna make you suffer. Like, she didn't just like get a weapon or something. She didn't try and break free and kill him. She's just like, while I'm chained up,
she took what she had and she worked with it. There's no excuses like, oh, I'm tied up. She's like, yeah, I'm tied up, and I'm gonna use the very thing you tied me up with to kill you.
Yeah, and I wonder if the plan.
Message.
I wonder if the plan was, let's go in and kill Jabba, or if it was just like, no, I'm taking this sucker out. Like, let's take care of him. But as we move through the movie, even we find out that she is Luke's twin sister, and that she has the same propensity to be a Jedi as Luke, and that really it's this unknown Force ability that's there. Although throughout the movies we see, even in A New Hope, you start seeing these little inferences, and Empire as well. It's like you're seeing the sensitivity to the Force.
Yeah. Which
is like, I think that's so cool that it's just like, it's not just Luke. It's not just the dude who come in to save. You have Leia. Like, so awesome.
That's my dream, though, is to see her being trained as a Jedi and seeing her be a Jedi Knight, and like just seeing that what George's vision was for that. Like, I would love that.
Yeah, and I know it's in the books, and I would love to see it in live action.
We need more Leia.
Even animated, something. I would like to see. I would like to see that honored and followed through. I think that'd be really cool.
Because if I'm not mistaken, George's plan was for her to be a Jedi.
Yeah. And we actually have the books where some of that plays out, which is so cool, and I'm excited to read them. And then we go to the Force Moon of Endor, and she has just this awesome, and remember, she's a princess at the end of this. She's a warrior princess.
Yeah.
And she like hops onto the speeder and is running with imps, and like it's just crazy. Like, it's so wild seeing that. Yeah, I think it's just so cool how she handles herself on this bike, ripping through the forest and fighting at the same time.
And she takes some of them out.
Yeah, it's super cool. You brought up actually, continuing with what she does in the movie, you brought up this point about her and the Ewoks, and I think that's actually really cool because it's less violent, but it's actually really, really important.
And I don't think violence necessarily always equals strong. Either, and I think that's why that's such a cool side of Leia is when she is introduced to Wicket. I believe that's when she's introduced to Wicket, you just see kind of this like mothering heart that she has to I guess protect and like build a connection, and she's like trying to make him feel safe. And I think moms are strong women. She wasn't a mom yet, but she was mothering, this Ewok in that moment. And I think that's a great and a different example of a strong woman. Because like I said, it's not always violence. It's a strong woman encompasses a lot more than just killing. There's a lot more to it. So I liked that side of her too, just that tender, sweet, protecting, motherly aspect that she had with Wicket and the Ewoks.
And not only that she's also a great diplomat. Like, she's able to basically kind of and I know C-3PO is a huge part, but she's able to kind of start bridging the gap between the humans and the Ewoks. And obviously stuff goes down, and C-3PO is and Luke really are crucial for that.
Right.
But she was an agent of change that really helped
she's
save
the
the day.
C-3PO tell them.
Yeah. And she's smart, very, very smart. So not only is she ruthless and she's kind and caring, but she's a great deliberator, and she's brilliant.
Yes.
And then, probably the last part that we really see of her is at the end. And I love how she, just with the blaster, she's firing at these imps, and she gets shot in the arm. And I know one of your favorite parts of the movie, if I'm not mistaken, or at least you liked it, and you're like, she does this, it's so cool.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite Leia scenes.
She gets shot in the arm, and she's just like, she's like, no, I'm all right, I'm like,
you're all right?
Like, that pierces the hearts of stormtroopers, and you're just like, cool, like, my arm may be gone forever, but I'm all right. So yeah, tell your favorite part.
Yeah, I love that part when after she gets shot in the arm, and then Han's like checking on her, and the 2 stormtroopers come up and they kind of communicate to each other non-verbally, and even she throws the "I know" after Han Solo says I love you, and she returns the "I know" from Empire, and they kind of have this look where he knows what's about to go down, so he throws up his arms knowing that she's going to cover him. So that's another thing that's really cool, is you see Han Solo put his life on the like he trusted her to take care of them both in that moment, even though she just got shot. So I really like that. And then he kind of moves out of the way, and like one shot, boom, boom, she takes 2 shots, hits him
right in the heart,
hits both these stormtroopers like dead on, and it's like she has good aim, she has a good shot, and she did that while she was shot. Obviously she held in a different arm, but I can't imagine the pain and trying to not think about that, because you're just in a crazy situation, but she's able to succeed and have an amazing victory.
And man, I love that scene so much, because not only do you see her and Han's relationship progressing, and it's just really cool, but you see her tough, even though she's admitting like, yeah, I'm in a lot of pain,
this hurts,
but I'm okay. And then it's just that glance, and she flashes her blaster, and then just a boom boom, and then even throwing Han's like nonchalant line right back, like, oh, it's so awesome. And I think I personally, and I think you would agree, but you can close us off after this, I think that Princess Leia is really like kind of the model for strong female that we need in Star Wars, because you see she can hold her own. She knows how to operate on a team. She's a great diplomat. She's smart. She's caring. She's funny.
She's like her mom.
Yeah, and I think, not that you want to just keep cloning her and making just a bunch of little like, okay, like we did Leia and it was successful, now we're going to do it again. But you see progress and growth and strength, and there's a lot going on that makes her like a perfect character, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And what do you think?
I completely agree. I love Leia. I think she, like I said in the beginning, I think she's a great example to young girls, and I think what's important is George just wrote a good character.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yep.
And that's how we get a beautiful story. And I love Princess Leia. I think it's awesome too, even looking back into the prequels, and you kind of see Padme and the similarities between her and her mom. So even that's cool, seeing that and how they did that. They made Padme a strong woman too. I think they almost modeled her after Leia, but not to be a clone Leia, but like you get to see why Leia's like that, because it's from her mom, and that's who her mom was. But yeah, I love Princess Leia. I think she's amazing, and like I said, I really wish we got to see her as a Jedi. Yes, and hopefully we will. If not, we'll read about it. Yes, and we will make it happen up here. Yeah. So with that, if you love Princess Leia in Return of the Jedi, throw some green hearts down in the comments. Let's see how many people love Princess Leia. That would be super cool. But with that, we are 2 Star Wars nerds, and may the Force be with you always.